Today's subject, unconventional warfare tactics, part 2. For some reason I am doing this accent. Why? I do not know specifically why. Besides, if you count the fact that everything that happens is, unless you count that everything that happens is predetermined by the past in advance, and how everything is caused because of something prior. But if that is true, then how does anything exist? Because in order for something to exist, there must first be something prior. If you're going by the principle of everything needs to have something happen prior that causes it to happen in order for it to happen. So, some more unconventional warfare tactics. Mines are indeed war crimes. But what about if you have semi-sentient drones that are programmed to seduct the enemy, and then once they either get close to each other physically or intercourse, it goes kaboom. Why is it now that I remember this one meme about this one meme? You know that format with Tom and the dog doing a sword fight, and then that Tom and Jerry the Jerry doing the strange face. One of Tom was that Tom and Jerry meme had one of them. Actually, no. What's the one? It was about people arguing whether or not getting kicked in the balls or giving birth hurts more. And then on Tom and the text over the face for Jerry says, "Me who experienced both." Strange meme. But anyway, back on subject. The tactic would indeed be unconventional and unforeseen, but this particular tactic was inspired. And inspired by who, you might be asking? I'm not going to say. But it definitely does not have to do with stealing any information from the Pentagon. You do not need to worry. You hit my word. The fact that I say that, people are going to think that I did. It's strange. You say, enjoy the next day, or enjoy tomorrow. People enjoy that. They think you're being nice. But if you say enjoy the next 24 hours, people are gonna think very differently, despite that a day is 24 hours. And when it would technically be the same as saying enjoy the next day, or enjoy tomorrow. Strange, right? Why won't this just stay on before? Okay, next. Anyway. Hold on. Why am I saying hold on? I was going to post the video. No, stop it. And same rule as last time. War crimes are not going to be included, even if the war crime would qualify as unconventional. Even if the qualifying as unconventional is because it is not done due to it being a war crime. Anyway, secondary tactic. Underneath the ground, there are machines, and these machines have cameras that are disguised as, or maybe an eye. Or actually, you can make it look like it's just a spider peeking out of a burrow by either using the same kind of technology that's used for prosthetic robo limbs to function, allowing a connection between the organic and inorganic parts, while supplying the necessary nutrients to keep the living part alive. And underneath, the sand, or dirt, or gravel, or whatever it is, could even be just logs. Pile of bricks that fell from brick tree and got covered by egg tree. Hypothetical scenario. And under in the machine underneath, it will actually, if you think about it, this could be substituted for a human being underneath. The unburying themselves would probably be pretty difficult, unless it's really weak stuff that they're covered in. They're not weak, light, or they're very, very close to the surface. Anyway, when either the enemy is close enough for a surprise to, or it to be viable, or the enemy passes, the person or machine will get up and then attack the enemy. This could be by any means. An asbestos sword, AK-47. After all, AK-47s have proved they can stand the time very, very well. And they were built to be reliable, so being underneath sand or dirt would not be too bad for their functions. Okay. Unconventional war tactic 3. Tripwires. How about the tripwires are superheated and made out of something durable with a high heat tolerance, so that they can cause harm to the enemy, and if the enemy is running, they could probably trip, depending on how sturdy it was anchored to whatever it was anchored to. But if you use flex tape or flex glue or flex seal, you know that it is going to be anchored very well. Or T-Rex tape brute force, or Gorilla Glue. It's going to be pretty well anchored. Anyway, by doing this, how would it be heated? Probably an electric current. Quick and painful death by electricity frying the ankles or shins, and also damage that is caused by electricity other than heat. If it's enough voltage, eyes would melt or pop. Do the eyes melt or pop when they're exposed when they're in the electric chair? I think maybe it's not melting. Don't ask how I know this. You could use that. Or you could have doorways that are triggered by the tripwire, though at least the Navy SEALs do. They will use lasers to make sure there's no tripwires. But if the enemy doesn't check for tripwire or use lasers to make sure that they check good, then you don't need to worry about it. Anyway, the tripwire could then cause, say, a board full of knives to fall down at roughly head and neck height, or cause blades to slice the ankles, and then ceiling collapse, spikes go down, or an explosion. Though the explosion being triggered by that, Triple would probably be close enough to landmine to be considered war crime, and also probably the same uh, if it were to be the falling blades, probably too close to punji pits, punji sticks, punji something. Probably too close to that to not be on shaky ground. But these could be checked by just hitting with stick, or just melting through it using plasma cutter, or propane torch, or some other welding equipment. Oh no, it's leaking. Is it leaking? No, it's not leaking. Oh, you know, just blow the whole thing up with a nuke. And good luck trying to cook pizza with a nuke. That's not going to be viable. It's too quick. Yes, you could reach the right temperature for proper cooking of pizza in oven, but it wouldn't last for very long. And even if it's close enough that the heat would instantly cook it, that would probably be, actually would definitely be too hot to, actually for a fact it would be too hot to not have negative health effects. Watch I Did the Things. How hot can you cook an egg? Video. Or unconventional warfare.